Oh, you're a crafter. Oh, you're a blue mage. It's like, how'd you get here? You're only level 15. Oh, wait. Yeah, let's try that. Yeah, I took that down an extra 2 minutes. Chairman Way. I think that was another one of the dungeons that I need to do. I'll do those dungeons once I'm done with the main story. Turn this volume down a little bit because it seems a little bit too loud. Probably should have actually waited to activate reduce rates until I need to teleport somewhere, but oh well. Actually, I don't need 2 storm salutes on here. Let's go. The moment I go somewhere, I'll actually queue for this. This dungeon will proc. So, yep. I was about to do the thing. Okay, let's do the thing. Look at those little clapping polar bears! I'm sorry, they were looking so happy! I don't know what they were happy about, but I'm glad for them. I better not be out there. I better not be about to kill those polar bears. What are you doing, sir? I'm the tank! Sir! A Reaper is a mentor, I guess. I'll take that charitably as he has faith in me. Alright, there's more stuff up ahead. There's a corundum. Eat. Okay. I assume I have to be all the way over here, probably. There you go. Oh, that's fast is interesting. Yeah, I don't really care that much for this armor. Pass. Alright, let's go forward. Yeah! Magical zipline! We're still using the Final Fantasy IV music. Is it 4 or is it 5? Final Fantasy, whatever Golbez is from. That music. Sorry. We good? Yeah! The guys are just beyond nothing to it.
Much obliged for clearing the way. We'll get to work at once. Filling these up will take a good while. I appreciate it if you stood watch till we finished. I ain't getting chewed to chum by some ether-bloated bugger.
I actually really like the theme for
by
this.
the by, where were you planning on putting these to use? We could deliver them by airship, see? Provided it ain't too far.
We would need them transported to Galemod, to the Tower of Babel.
Ah, that's a long old journey. Too long for a direct flight. Tell you what, we'll send them over with the scheduled shipment of provisions headed that way. I'll make the arrangements as soon as we get back. Save some poor chocobos having to drag this lot through the snow.
You have our thanks. We shall not forget your generosity.
Everything seems to be proceeding apace. I dare say you would have been fine without me.
Why would you say such a thing? You are not bound by contract or the threat of force, and you gain no advantage by devaluing your own contribution. Yet you must be bound by something to speak thus. What is it?
What binds me? A belief, I suppose. Born of our shared struggles. No matter where my comrades go, I have faith they will be fine. For I know that they will walk their chosen path as surely as I walk mine. I trust them, in short. Trite though it may sound.
Trust. I remember the word. How long has it been since last I used it? It had no place in my dealings. Not with other Voidsent, and certainly not with Xenos. Not even in the time before darkness engulfed the world. Full often did Memoriates betray their own, corrupted by the very power they wielded. You could trust no one but yourself. Alone we fought, and alone we fell. I wouldn't know how to trust. Is there some trick to it?
Just stay close to this one. You'll learn in no time. Absolutely fine.
I confess I thought thou mightst have more words of counsel to offer.
Oh, she'll soon get the hang of it, even without my help. After our work here is done, I'll see myself back to the shadows. But before that, I take it you've heard as well.
Indeed. The client seeketh Archons, and 'twould seem our extensive travels and neutrality make us prime candidates.
Well, assuming we take on the request, I suspect I'll be stuck with you again. Don't let me down, hmm?
Dawn Trail? We talking about Dawn Trail here? Zero straight as an arrow, isn't she? A refreshing contrast to our more circuitous company. We're truly indebted to Kokol. We must invite him to Rod's at Han as a guest of honor. By simply staying close to you, will I really learn about trust? To not only allows the use of the tanks, but to arrange the transportation and Garlemald. Besides, blessed are we to count Kokol among our allies. Unto thee we must also give thanks, Thancred, for coming to our aid in such short notice. Please, you know I'm always happy to help. Don't hesitate to call me again. Till next time. With the tank's transportation thus arranged, our first task is complete. We may now turn our attention to the second, to wit, obtaining the blessing of the Ilsbard contingent to use the Tower of Babel to channel energy onto the moon. The destination is Camp Broken Glass, where we may present our petition to Commander Lucia. There is a part of me that really wants to grind Bosnia for this mount. The fact that it's like every individual party member gets to sit on one of the heads is so cool. I just don't know what character I'd grind for it on. Here we are again. It's always such a pleasure. Per your Stoll's advice, I have changed into clothing more suited to the surrounds. Better to blend in. I hope this will suffice. Indeed, glad am I to hear that Garlemald's restoration proceeded at the pace, and the people no longer want for warmth, but be that as it may, there's no substitute for appropriate garments in such frigid climes, as I can personally attest. You, as ever, are welcome, Missing. I do not believe I've met all your comrades. Now, allow me to personally thank you for your assistance during the recent Voidsen incursion. Your actions saved many. What brings you here today? Pray forgive us for not sending word in advance, Commander, but we seek cooperation of a matter of great import. Indeed. We appreciate you consulting with us instead of taking unilateral action. It is no simple matter to activate the Tower of Babel, and I speak not only of the technological challenges. Personally, I think we must consider the emotional impact of such an action above all else. Pending a more official name, we refer to those who remain here as the Garlean community. As you would expect, they are predominantly native Garleans, most of whom are uncomfortable with ethereal manipulation. To compound matters, the trauma afflicted by Anima is still fresh. If the tower were to suddenly light up again, it's like to cause distress and reopen old wounds. Better than facing a mass invasion by Golbez and his void-sent hordes, surely. Of course, we acknowledge the gravity of the situation, as well as the promised bloodshed should we fail to act. Yet even were we to convey your warning to the public, many simply do not understand the workings of magic or the rift. They'll struggle to comprehend why they must be forced to relive personal horrors for the sake of something they cannot imagine. What's there to imagine? Haven't these people seen Voidsent with their own eyes? Let us suppose you encounter someone who's freezing in this cold. A natural thing to do might make them a fire. Yes? But what if that person's sole experience with fire was being badly burned by it, and they harbored an acute fear? Despite the benefits, nay, the necessity of warmth you offer, they may flee on instinct, or worse, misinterpret your actions for aggression and lash out. So, like fire, the fire that torments this individual, the Tower of Babel torments the people of Garlemald. Yeah, we cannot afford to falter here. We must find a way to help them overcome this fear. I agree. To that end, the contingent will assist however we can. We should speak with Alphino and Eorzea. The rapport they have established with the Garlean people, I dare say they can provide us with valuable insights. In the meantime, Eorzea, might I ask that you remain here to oversee the technical aspects of the tower's activation? Tertium. Of all the things, to dread fire even when one is freezing, to become a prisoner of one's fear, tis a fate which void sent can succumb. I've taken the liberty of explaining our objective. I knew you wouldn't be able to stay away. I'm glad to see you. Reachers explained our present dilemma. 'Tis no unfounded concern that the Garleans might take poorly to the reactivation of the Tower of Babel. That's putting it mildly. Many would be up in arms over it. Trust in the Ilsebard contingent is fragile enough. We need to tread lightly, or we risk jeopardizing everything we've achieved. Trust again. Seems to me there's not for it but to speak with the people. Rather than harping on about the necessity of the plan, we need to lend an ear to their concerns. Then perhaps we can begin working towards a compromise. In that case, I'll take you to meet the community leaders. They're at a station called Senatus near Senaculum Imperialis. I'd be honored to speak with them, though it would be prudent to learn where where people elsewhere stand as well. But that I will leave to the others, save Zero. Mind you accompanying me? I'm sure those of the Tapper's Den will have their own opinions. Alphino, if I may drag you along? Tertium will leave to you. You're no stranger to the people here, so it should take little prodding to convince them to speak freely. It's settled. Once you've learned what you can, let's all meet at Forum Solus. We'll have where we'll have what I hope is a productive discussion. Also, did I end up getting the orchestrion role? Star's Breath. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Right, is Star's Breath the theme from... Yeah, the Etherfont theme. Okay, that's nice. That might be the theme for my room in the guild house. Activate the Tower of Babel. Are you out of your mind? That abomination transformed my friends and family into monsters. I can't even bear to look at it when I step outside. If you want to do something for us, tear the bloody thing down. Tower of Babel? What's it got to do with Void Scent? I can't say I understand. You people have done much more for us Garleans. If you say it's necessary, then it's good enough for me. Whatever its present state, the Imperial Palace was once the pride of Garlemald. I mean, no disrespect to you and yours, but shouldn't the Garling people be its caretakers instead of foreigners? Though if we dared speak thus to some of the contingent, they might make assumptions, cut our rations, or worse. Forget I said anything, please. Fine, that tower wasn't right, I tell you, all those magics. Years ago, when I lived in the provinces, the locals razed our village to the ground with the stuff, made things appear, disappear, fly, and burn. I can still see it when I close my eyes. You've done us good, dear, but let's not talk about that tower any longer. It's unnatural. No, stop it! The tower's evil. It'll turn us all evil. I don't want to hear it. Leave me alone. Euless is on his way with the others. I hope you found the people more receptive than we did. May I present to you Lords Gnaeus and Medius, the magistrates of our political council. They have been spearheading the efforts to establish a new system of government here. When we raised the subject of the Tower of Babel, they insisted that we speak no further until joined by representatives of the Ilzabar contingent. I see Eorzea and Alphenov have yet to arrive, though, so perhaps we should wait. Doesn't matter if only some of you are present. We simply wish to make one thing perfectly clear. The tower is the manifestation of Garlean ingenuity and authority. It was once the abode of the Imperial family, and will forever bear a tremendous cultural significance. It is insulting enough that we have to suffer foreigners occupying it under the guise of rendering aid. Now you propose reactivating it? Nay, we've had enough. The Garlemald of old may have fallen, but she fell in civil war to her own people, not to Eorzea or of any other land. We came here to assert our unequivocal claim to our territory. Garlemald, and all that lies within her bounds, is beholden to no one. There's no common ground to be found with these men. In spite of this, you still would engage with them? I do not begrudge them their hostility. They merely seek to protect their homeland. That said, we must strive to reach an understanding with one another. You'll treat with the Ilzabar contingent if only to assert our rights. If your intentions are as benevolent as you claim, then you'll agree to our demands. Our sovereignty is of paramount importance. On this point, there can be no concessions. Since their excellencies are resolved to negotiate with the contingent, I'll escort them to Tertium. I'll also instruct Alphino and Eorzea to meet us there. Lord Medius, Lord Gnaeus, by your leave, my comrades and I would speak with the residents of Senatus. Though the Ilzabar contingent holds the Tower of Babel, it is I who wishes for it to be reactivated, and thus I think it meet that I be present for this discussion. Yet my understanding of our people's hardships, of their hopes and desires, and dreams of the future is sorely lacking. In my ignorance, I would struggle to contribute. Lest you worry, I'll not plead our case to the community in your absence. I wish only to identify common ground upon which we might build a relationship that sees us overcome our differences. Very well, but know that the guards will not hesitate to escort you from the premises should they judge your actions to be inappropriate. If it's settled then, you should all head to Sonatus. I'll join you there after I see their excellencies safely to Tertium. I haven't unveiled this part of the map yet. The defenses bespeak a cautious mindset, more so than Tertium. Ulysses told us all, you have Garlean's permission to enter and speak with our residents, but not permission to direct them to petition them directly for support. Remember that. Here it is, Sonatus, a temporary refuge for our political dignitaries, hence those tight security. I'm given to understand that the outsiders are normally permitted so much as a glimpse inside. We should consider ourselves fortunate to be given this opportunity. I hope it'll be worth the trouble. As do I, Zero. As do I. Basic design is reminiscent of Tertium, though somewhat embellished. To begin, I propose we split up and ask the residents for their views on the Ilsbar contingent and the current state of affairs. We would do well to learn more about the Enclave itself. Should you observe anything of note, pray keep it in mind. It's through open hearts and open minds that I believe we may yet convince their leaders to work with us for the greater good. Stockpile of assorted supplies bears the markings indicating they were recently provided by the Ilsbard contingent. The Enclave is clearly reliant on the Alliance for aid. You recognize the large casks as the very same you and your comrades used to transport ceruleum from Lapis Minalis. Why are they in... why they aren't in Sonatus is unclear. You want to know what I think? I'm a soldier. I try not to think about politics at all. I'll say this much. Our leaders labor to preserve our culture, our way of life, what remains of it at any rate. I trust them to do what's best for Garlemald. I feel like in a time like this, you can't not think of politics. Like, literally, a civil war happened and your government is non-existent. Your politics seems to be impacting your life pretty hard. How do I feel about the contingent? Conflicted, to say the least. I've been tasked with the distribution of supplies, and I know as well as any that we couldn't survive without outside aid. But be that as it may, even though the Empire's collapsed, we still have our pride. People don't want to be beholden to others forever, and there's no denying that it chafes to see our benefactors occupying the Imperial Palace. So we ask that we can use the Tower of Babel in exchange for transfer of the Imperial Palace back to the people of Garlemald. Finished touring the Enclave, have you? What were you able to learn? What's the same as me, then? They accept the contingent's help out of necessity and harbor a measure of resentment. They have only themselves to blame. If they don't like the bargain, they should reject it. How many times must I tell you, it's absolutely out of the question. What's going on? We're running the very same. We came running when we heard shouting. Is that the matter? No, I was just trying to explain. Mayhap I can clear this up. The contingent's made a reasonable request, but this man insists that it's impossible. It concerns Magitech weapons, which run rampant through Regio Urbanissima. Every time we deliver supplies there, we have to dispatch extra men to defend against potential attacks. To address the issue once and for all, we've proposed the elimination of all machina that loiter near the supply route. But you heard them. They refused to even consider it. The magistrates have already spoken on this matter. Rampant or no, the war machina are Garlean assets. Furthermore, who is to say that they are as dangerous as you attest? It has been suggested this could be a pretense to scavenge Magitech material for your own ends. I know not if that's the case, but the fact remains we cannot allow you to destroy them. More speculation by the magistrates, I presume. Ridiculous, but they have spoken, and unless we want to inflame tensions further, there's naught we can do. How complicated relations become when not grounded in clear and equitable arrangement. Equitable arrangement, of course. Well, do I understand the difficulty of your position, soldier? As you must do your duty and obey your superiors. I have an idea, but I must first speak with Commander Lucia. May I take charge on this matter? By all means. You're talking to a 10,000-year-old dragon who's been governing an island for generations. Let us return to Camp Broken Glass, where we might discuss a solution I believe will satisfy all parties. He seems awfully confident. What do you suppose he has in mind? Who's this person again? I have completed mine inspection of the tower. Thou shalt be pleased to hear the transference of ether will pose no difficulty. Leaves to me, my friend. You'll return with glad tidings, I hope. Welcome back, all of you. I pray there's been positive developments in your effort to appeal to the Garlean community. Mayhap not yet, but there is a method by which I believe we all stand to gain. As Satrap, I intend to propose a trade agreement between Radzit Han and the people of Garlemald. Please continue. The people of this nation have lived through its collapse and more, yet they have chosen to remain for its home. That they have been able to survive thus far is thanks to the Ilsabard contingent, or rather, in less flattering terms, they are entirely at your mercy. Despite your noble intentions, this one-sided relationship has fueled feelings of frustration and resentment. It is no surprise that some Garleans are loath to engage with foreigners for fear of indebting themselves further, or surrendering more of their already limited autonomy. That's why I wish to present them with an equitable arrangement. One that would restore them a sense of agency after having been forced to rely upon charity. Easier said than done. What exactly did you have in mind? Long have Garlemald and Radzathan abided by a treaty of non-interference. Freely have we traded with one another, but I wish to continue this tradition. We provide your people with such supplies as you require, in return for which you should grant us leave to use the Tower of Babel, as well as a share of your Magitek resources and expertise. As we become more reliant upon your technologies, we will of course require more ceruleum to fuel them. This you possess in abundance, and for it you'll be duly compensated. Radzathan's culture will be enriched by your Magitek wonders, and our ever-increasing demand for your wares will see Garlemald grow wealthy and prosperous. Only when both sides keep interests of the other in mind can an equitable relationship be forged. This is a principle I once thought I understood, but I have come to appreciate all the more in recent days, thanks to the sage counsel of a friend from beyond the rift. Your Excellency, I thank you for your careful consideration of Garlemald's future. Though I cannot speak for every Garlean, I see myself no reason to object your proposal. Indeed, if Radzathan were to take the initiative, other nations may follow suit and seek to normalize trade relations with us. If you see the sense in the proposal, then I ask you to join me in negotiations at Tertium. Your support may be instrumental in winning over Lords Neas and Medius. By all means, go with them. I have matters well in hand here. I've learned all that I may regarding the tower's operations, so I too will hie me to Tertium. We finally begin the negotiations. As a crowd you may have brought, but numbers will not intimidate us. The Tower of Babel is ours by rights, and nothing you do will convince us otherwise. Rest assured, it is not our intent to infringe upon the rights of the people of Garlemald. Let us instead discuss the future. As Satrap of Radzathan, I wish to establish a new trade agreement between our nations. The aid we presently receive will not last forever, my lords. Sooner or later, we must stand on our own 2 feet. But to do so, we must secure a means to replenish our coffers, and the proposed agreement presents a rare opportunity. It is true we do not want for Magitek and ceruleum, and foreign currency will be needed to procure such things we lack. It would depend on the precise terms, but I can see the merits. What? I can't believe what I'm hearing. You served the Emperor, were a proud patriot, now you entertain selling national resources like a common merchant? Like you, I weep for what we've lost, but if we were to rebuild Garlemald, we must make use of what precious few assets remain to us. Nonsense, utter nonsense. You are a traitor, Neas, and there will be a reckoning. When the people of Senatus learn of this, they will cry out for your blood. Lord Medius, wait, it isn't safe out there. It's far too dangerous for a civilian to be outside alone. We must go after Lord Medius. Leave us matters here, and Maximus. Let us leave matters here in Maximus' care while the rest of us join the search. If Lord Medius is bound for Senatus, we may be able to catch up to him in Regio Urbanissima. I pray he does not come to any harm. It's an embarrassing display. A man of Medius' station should have the capacity to keep his emotions in check. Hang on. Let me uncover this section of the map because I haven't yet. Let me get that achievement. There we go, mapping the realm Garlemald. Let me... Oh, hang on. I need Carby. I'm alive?
Praise the sisters, you are safe.
Don't think I'm indebted to you. I never asked for your help.
You love Garlemald dearly, Lord Metius. That much is plain. But you're not alone in that. We all mourn what has become of our homeland. Bristle at having to rely upon outsiders simply to survive the cold. Even now, I struggle with fear and uncertainty. Day after day, I ask myself, what is right? Where do we go from here? I've yet to find the answers. But I won't stop looking nonetheless, and I won't avert my gaze from our grim reality.
Is there hope for us?
Aye, so long as we live. Garlemald lies in ruins, but the bonds between us will never be broken. We are the chain that connects generations past and future. You and I, it's links. Help us, Lord Metius, for all we have been and for what we may yet become. Please.
To be lectured by the younger, it ill becomes a man of my station. I will rejoin the talks at Tertium. Might I trouble you to escort me? Ere we part, I apologize for my discourtesy. I owe you my life. And I thank you.
Euless, wait. I'd like a word. With you as well. I'm to stay close, after all.
Worry not, we shall see the magistrates safely back to Tertium.
What is it?
You bound that man with trust. didn't you? That's why he did not require coercion to return.
Shall we walk, perhaps? Chilly, standing around here. So that's how Zero came to join you. Still, I'm not sure I'm qualified to explain something like trust. I wouldn't describe myself as a sociable person. Before all this, any free time I had, I spent looking after my brother and sister. As for the magistrate, I only told him what's been on my mind of late. But I wouldn't have done so, I think, if it weren't for the twins' influence. Trust is infectious, in a manner of speaking. When someone believes in you, it makes you want to believe in them, in others, in yourself. Perhaps it's because the magistrate felt that earnestness that he gave us a chance. As I did, after I was caught trying to steal provisions from the enemy. Trust comes easy in such company.
Little wonder my world is devoid of it. No one trusts in you, and so you trust in no one. And round the wheel turns. During the Contra Memoria, we had already come to judge one another based on strength and usefulness. You either used or were used. Those who rejected this rule didn't survive. My mother wanted to save the world, to fulfill the hopes of Memoria's good and true. After she died, I carried on her mission alone.
Alone? Didn't you have anyone to help you?
Almost. 2 men tried just the once. A swordsman and a mage, whom I met when passing through a village. They had saved the people there from corrupted Memoriats.
Is that the man from The Witcher?
When they learned our enemies were the same, they seemed heartened. They claimed to be soldiers of a kingdom called Baron, and were traveling the realm in search for means to end the Contra Memoria. They invited me to join them. I refused. How could I not, having learned the lessons of my world? Those who would work with others always have their own motives. I would not place myself at their mercy. I would not be forced to submit. I expected some manner of outburst, some show of frustration at having failed to deceive me. But they simply watched me walk away. I didn't know what to make of it then, but now... Perhaps they shared a bond of trust. Perhaps they were the last ones left who dared. Perhaps they hoped I was like them, too. Perhaps it was just an offer, and nothing more. I continued fighting alone. But ultimately, I was undone. Overwhelmed by enemies that had banded together. I was cold. In pain. wishing desperately that someone would save me. And as I lay there in solitude, I felt it happen. The breaking of our world. Darkness washed over me, and I was swept into the rift. When I finally managed to return, it was to a world forever transformed. My home, now filled with abominations. I had a chance to learn about trust, and forsook it. I never had the power to save my home single-handed. I should have accepted their invitation. Had I joined them as I've joined you, I might not have had to face the end of the world alone. But it's all history now. No amount of reflection or regret will change our present reality.
Whatever may have happened in the past, you're still here, Zero. Alive. So long as you're alive, there will always be hope, no matter how bad things get. What you couldn't do yesterday, you might still do today. Think about it. It's plain that you've forged bonds with those around you. If you didn't feel that in some sense, would you have risked your life as you did for a meager ration of boots? I trust you too, for what it's worth.
Here it is again. The fire that burned in my breast when you came to my rescue. The urge to weep, though there is no sorrow. If this is trust, then what must I do? How do I answer it?
However you like.
Give me your hand. It's not something you do constantly, mind. A friend is a friend regardless.
A friend. So that's what it means. Someone you trust.
When I first met Zero, I wasn't sure what to make of her forthright to a fault nature, but now I understand she's simply an honest soul to the core. Thank you. I feel as though I've found the answers I sought, and I owe it all to you and Euless. Right then, I should accept the others have already arrived back at Tertium. We should join them. Full glad am I to see everyone returned, and none the worse for wear. Various representatives of the Garland community are gathered at this very moment. I dare say this is a fine opportunity to announce the trade agreement. You've read the memorandum, and I trust you find the terms acceptable. I do, and Naeus, I pray you forgive my disgraceful conduct earlier. I'm ashamed not only of my behavior, but of placing the burden of negotiations solely on your shoulders in my absence. You should know that when we brought up the subject of the tower's reactivation of the people at Tapper's Den, some reacted quite strongly. Once we explained that it would be to prevent another Void-Scent invasion, however, they are more receptive. It's fair to say the recent episode is still fresh in their minds. I tagged along to deliver a supply of ceruleum. I have to say I didn't expect such a large crowd. Even the stuffy Imperials who normally keep themselves in sonatas are here. My friends, countrymen, lend me your ears. I'm pleased to inform you all on this joyous occasion that we, the people of Garlemald, have entered into a trade agreement with Rodzathan. To inaugurate our accord, we intend to grant the individuals before you access to the Tower of Babel. In return, Rodzathan will provide us with supplies, which shall be equally distributed amongst our settlements of our nation. Let me be clear on one point. This is not an act of charity, but a trade. A bargain struck between equals rooted in trust and respect, and it marks a significant step towards rebuilding our nation and regaining true independence. Rodzathan holds Garlean technology and ingenuity in the highest esteem. It is my hope that through this agreement, our peoples will enjoy a mutually beneficial relationship for years to come. Now then, we bid you to gather around here to hear the particulars, that you might convey them to those elsewhere. So burdened by the hardship and trauma were the people of Garlemald, they were unable to imagine a brighter future. But to be recognized as equals, the nation was something of value to offer others. That validation alone is enough to rekindle their hope. 'Tis by virtue of this partnership that we may access the Tower of Babel, a rather timely development given the ethereal tank's impending arrival. Once the tower's stores have been replenished, we need but to await Y'shtola's signal to channel the ether to the moon, yes? And you can leave that and anything else on this end to me and Alphino. No need to worry. Devote all your energies to the mission to the Void. As ever, I'm in your debt. You're good friends. Moments like these give me hope that we still have a place in this world. I'm not wrong to call them that, am I, friends? Garlean technology shall enrich my people's lives and empower them to achieve new, great feats. I am particularly eager to see what our alchemists are inspired to create. Good friends, eh? Coming from her, you know she's not saying it to be nice. Both Rodzathan and Garlemald stand to benefit greatly from this arrangement. It may well mark the beginning of a long and fruitful friendship.
Let us take a moment to review matters as they stand. Having procured sufficient stores of ether, we may now channel the requisite energy unto the moon via the Tower of Babel. Our work on the star is complete. However, we have yet to receive word from Ishtola as to the state of the lunar preparations.
A ritual to open the gate, and measures to forestall a void-sent invasion.
Is the moon tidally locked? Does it just stay in the same place?
Neither task is simple nor quickly completed. She would doubtless benefit from our assistance.
The very thing I was about to propose. Let us join her above and lend what aid we may. Ere we set forth, however, Ishtola did bid me relay a message to thee. As thou art well aware, a key objective of our mission is the extraction of thy sister Ashdaya from the Void. Held captive for millennia and divested of an eye, she is like to be severely weakened. To make good her escape, she shall require aid. Aid that is best provided by a fellow great worm.
You would have me go in my true form. Very well. Like our sire, we great worms are capable of traversing the great expanse. The journey will take some time, but I shall take myself to the moon. To begin with, I shall return this vessel to Radzadhan, that I may have both my eyes. And until such time as we find Ashdaya, I would entrust her eye to your keeping. Will you do this for me?
We shall contact you via link pearl once all is in place on the moon. You need but follow Ishtola's instructions.
Understood. We'll be ready.
Take care, Zero.
It will be the briefest of homecomings. I'll be back before you know it.
In mare elementorum, then. Go well.
Back on the moon. Moon time. The moon. When Xenos brought me here, I remember feeling surprised that such a desolate place could exist in the source.
I took the liberty of informing Ishtola of our arrival. She and her entourage should be here momentarily.
Forgive me. I'd hoped to have everything in order sooner.
My thanks for the extra hands.
Alfino and Alice stand ready at the Tower of Babel. Vritra is also en route.
Excellent. You've done well, all of you. For my part, I've managed to prepare the ritual with help from the Watcher. All that remains is to channel the ether from below. This should, I pray, open a gate leading to the moon of the 13th.
May I just say how excited we are to be a part of this grand undertaking. The development of the artificial Atomos was one thing, but this is an opportunity like no other. Ishtola even managed to get a loan of elegant treatises on void sense summoning from the prized collection of the Sons of Saint Koinak. The Empire's application of etherochemistry in regulating void gates provided us with many a useful insight for our work, let me tell you.
I asked a favor of Grahatir when we were comparing notes on cross-rift travel. Given his credentials, I was confident he wouldn't be denied. The knowledge of our forebears has brought us far, as has our own. And with our knowledge and resources, we shall construct a void-sent containment seal on a heretofore unseen scale.
Containment seal? Then thou wouldst make use of...
Aye, a tried and tested means of holding dark entities at bay is readily available here. 'Twould be remiss of us not to employ it. We shall reforge the brands that Xenos and Fandaniel destroyed. That which held even Zodiark shall more than suffice for void scent of any persuasion.
The Watcher is already hard at work, tending to the most critical parts of the brand's restoration. There are, however, a number of concerning factors that remain. With your help, I'm sure we can resolve them.
Time is of the essence, so I suggest we continue this discussion as we make our way to the brands.
This is one of the brands that once in prison Zodiark, where I described it to my comrades back home. I doubt my words could do it justice. How'd you fare the preparations below? The seal we meant to erect. I assume it won't hinder a half-void scent like me from going in the other direction. Y'shtola hath done well indeed to devise a seal in so short a time. 'Tis a testament to her ingenuity in times of need. Now then, to matters at hand. With the Watcher's assistance, we shall reforge each of Zodiark's brands and use them to erect a barrier capable of repelling void scent. Yet though we expect it to be effective against larger beings on account of its original purpose, there is a chance it will allow lesser void scent to slip through. Therefore, we shall require a second line of defense, and I believe the Loporrit's supporters will be suitable for that purpose. Eorzea, missing the two of you have a strong rapport with our lunar allies. I would have you meet with Living Way and Bestway's Burrow and provide any assistance they require. I'll join you. As a void scent, my knowledge may be of use. An excellent idea. In the meantime, the rest of us will see to reforging the brands. I'll send a word when we have finished. Pray do the same. What are these things? Living way, I trust thou have been well. There you are, your soul has appraised me of your present undertaking. I understand that she wishes to deploy our pride and joy, the veritable carrots of our eye, our unrivaled combat supporters, as a precautionary measure in case this void sent containment seal of hers proves lacking. As we speak, my fellows are rounding up what units they can, and we'll bring them to the northeast corner in short order. Please wait there. Ever am I grateful for the Lopert's irrepressible compulsion to help. Nope, you come back here, sir. Thank you. Despite their bestial appearance, these creatures are highly intelligent, and much like you and yours, they take pleasure in helping others.
Dreadfully sorry to have kept you all waiting. Hello there, friends. A new person. Heard there was a bit of a rush, so we gathered what combat-ready supporters we had available.
A welcome contribution. Thine initiative never ceaseth to amaze.
Oh, stop! You're making me blush. Though we have fulfilled the purpose given to us by Hydaelyn, aiding the people of Eorzea remains our greatest joy. So you can count on us, ever and always. Right, so, we originally deployed these supporters to patrol the moon and keep it safe. They've never tussled with Voidsent before, but with sufficient data, they ought to hold their own against the ghastly fiends. Practical, tactical data acquired in the moment, and who better to give the supporters an educational thrashing than the champion of Eorzea?
I believe I would make a better instructor. Not only have I fought Voidsent, I am one.
Well, don't just stand there. Engage! 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 Engage!
That'll do, that'll do! A defeat bitterer than the bitterest carrot. Using this experience, we must enhance the supporters and turn them into Voidsent slaughterbots! Indeed. Right after we've managed to put the poor dears back together.
Pray forgive our comrade's enthusiasm. May I inquire as to how long the repairs will take?
On an ordinary day, I'd say no less than 5 carrots briskly consumed. But if you were to provide us with encouragement... just might be able to do it in two.
These sound effects.
This I leave to you.
Loporrit's eyes twinkle with anticipation as they await your buoyant exhalation. To wit, they yearn for you to rally their spirits. Do I have rally on? Engage! Sorry, I was in the midst of... Forgive me. The slight sight of persistent parts is strangely soothing and sleep-inducing, but I'll try to keep moving. What a marvelous feeling. That's something like wild gesticulations of encouragement to fire you up. With you cheering me on, I can do not less but my very best. Ooh, thank you very much. You don't know how uplifting it is to have you encouraging us. I mean, showing us the proper technique so we may keep our supporters operating at peak efficiency. My, everyone's in high spirits indeed. Thanks to all your encouragement, we'll have our supporters up and running in no time at all. Pray attend to your remaining busy work and leave the deployment of our new and improved Void Sense slaughter bots to us.
Can you hear me? We've just finished restoring the brands. Let us reconvene once you've finished tending to matters there. The culmination of our efforts is nigh.
Shola, was it? The brands are ready, I presume? Excellent. With the Loporrits having deployed their supporters, we are ready to proceed. Let's rejoin Yashola post-haste and prise open our gate unto the void. With the city keeping us safe, we were able to finish repairing the brands without incident. This is it. I've duly informed Yashola of our task completion. While you attend all matters on the 13th, I shall remain here and ensure the integrity of the gates and seal both. Some matter of Cactar attempted to make mischief, but no one came to harm. How'd you fare? My thanks to all the supporters. With this, all is in readiness for the ritual. First, I shall give the order to Alpha Node and Alice in the Tower Babel to channel the ether to the moon. Once we have amassed sufficient amount of energy, Eorzea and I will begin our incantations to open the Void Gate. If all goes well, a tear will form in the fabric of reality, at which point you must activate the brands put in place the containment seal. That's all. There's no questions. Let us begin. we just bring the canisters up to the moon with us?
Apologies for the wait. The preparations here are finally complete.
Excellent. The Tower 2 is activated. Give the word and we will begin channeling the ether.
Very well then. Make it so.
The moment of truth. By the sisters!
Eorzea, commence your invocations. 'Tis time to open our gate. A tear is beginning to form. Quickly, activate the brands. Success. The gate is open, and the seal appears to be in place.
Let's see how well it holds.
What an enormous gate! Lord Golbez will be eager to hear of this. So this is the promised land. The land of boundless ether.
I dare say the seal doth serve its purpose.
I see all proceedeth apace. Remarkable.
Indeed. Just this moment, a void scent emerged from the gate, by which we may safely assume it leads to the 13th.
It's incredible, Ishtola. Truly incredible. Oh, what an honor it is to have been part of this historic achievement.
A part is an understatement. None of this would have been possible without you and yours. Our Our success has also served to solidify our understanding of cross-rift travel. The Ascians rejoined reflections to the source by instigating elemental imbalances. These imbalances weakened the barrier between realities, causing the ether of a reflection to flood the source. But why is it that reflections are predisposed to rejoin the source? Why have they never merged with one another?
Thou art suggesting there is a unique property inherent to the source, one responsible for such an outcome.
I am. 'Tis my conclusion that, as the point of origin for the reflections, the source has an innate pull over them. Hydaelyn, I believe, sought to suppress that pull, which is why she was created with the power of light, of stasis. Meanwhile, the power of darkness, of activity, reigns in the void. Hydaelyn's influence would naturally be weaker, and this manifested in the form of planar fissures. Working with this hypothesis, I set my sights upon where the pull was assessed to be strongest, and through our combined efforts we succeeded in opening a gate to the void. Now, I must stress, it was because we sought the void that we succeeded. Pleased though I am to have my theory proven, the secrets of travel to other reflections still elude us. Even so, in the reality that lies beyond the 8th umbral calamity, there are those who found a way to reach the first. I will not rest until I do the same.
One step closer to fulfilling your dream, eh?
Just a step. Many more remain to be taken. Which further motivates me to forestall a void-sent invasion. So come, let us set forth, to find Ashdaya and put an end to Golbez's plot.
Climb upon my back. I shall take us to the gate.
As we did discuss prior, I shall see the alchemists safely home, then together with the Loporrits maintain vigil over the gate.
May the sisters watch over and keep you safe.
Into the void once more.
Oh, his side seems to have healed. I remember seeing, like, every time we saw him, you could still see the huge, like, scar where he had a bunch of scales taken out of him. I need to wrap up and start work soon, but...
This is the moon of the 13th.
It is. Ever since the flood, it has been a sanguinary orb in the sky.
No void scent. A rather more subdued reception than I had anticipated.
But unsurprising, given how jealously Golbez conceals the location of his domain. Still, we must remain on guard. One of his minions came through the gate, after all, and more may lie in wait.
I do not sense my sister. Where could she be? Where?
Steady, Vritra. We've barely arrived. Let us explore our surrounds before drawing conclusions.
Yes, thou art right. I shall survey the moon from above. The ground I leave to you all.
Don't get captured by Golbez. He casually captured your sister beforehand. So, like... Okay, I thought that we would have... I thought that we would have, started a, Oh, is there no way to leave and come back? If I need to leave to, like... Nah, I guess I'll just log out. If there's no, Okay, this is a safe area considered. I forget what I was just talking about. Yeah, if Golbez was able to easily just like capture Ashdaya, I'd worry about him just being able to be like, ah, cool, another Elder Dragon, mine. Anyway, though, I'm hopping off here because I have to be at work 7 minutes ago. So thanks for hanging out. Catch y'all tomorrow or Sunday.